I'm Bryan, entrepreneur, author, and we have several books. So make sure you check out the books that I have for you, the workbook, the original book that made it all possible, the children's book, all of it in the bookstore. You can shop right on AfroEconomics.com. I'm author, entrepreneur, investment advisor, Bryan, president and chief investment officer at Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics. And I am psyched about us talking about never underestimating ourselves, because I truly know that it is hard for those of us who are constantly trying to grow, not trying to grow, that we're constantly on the grow. Those of us that realized it at an early age that the only way that we were going to have a good life is that we were going to have to put in work. And I remember being a young person and family members telling me, you can't do everything. You can't be everything. You can't do all of that. And there are so many people like myself who heard those things, and as we have grown up, it's still in our mind. And though they love us, they don't understand what is required in order for us to reach and obtain and create the life that we want for our family and for our legacy. So that all of that being given, I want to encourage us to today wash out all of that self-doubt, get rid of it, and let's start overestimating our financial goals and stop underestimating ourselves. We've got to stop doing it. I put down some notes because this is really important to me. It's really important to me because I think that we set these goals because we want them to be realistic, because we're told that, you set a particular goal. Say you said, you want to be a multi-millionaire, and someone said, well, how are you going to do that? All you make is $60,000 a year, and that could be true for them, that they may not be able to do that. But instead, as a part of AfroEconomics, it is our goal to, if that's your goal, to become a multimillionaire, then we have to figure out ways of maximizing the current income and then creating additional income so that you can indeed reach the goal that you have for yourself. You should not even think that it's okay to adjust your goal based on the income that you're making right now. That's not the way it works. You have to adjust and make the effort, change the direction, change your focus in order to create the life, the assets, the goal, and reach the goal that you have set for yourself and your family. So let's talk today. I have here my notes about setting big goals, not reasonable goals, but big ones, the ones that you were told that were not possible. And the only requirement is that we have to put out the work that is required in order to reach the goal that you've set for yourself. Truth is, the reasonable goal is just not going to be enough for us anyway. So if you said, I'm going to adjust and I'm going to make that, a reasonable goal, then we're always going to have that same frustrating life of being worried about money and being worried about if it's going to work out the way that you have planned. So if you're just saying you're setting these reasonable goals. I remember when I was graduating from college and they had this career counseling person come in, and he said, like, what do you want to make your first year out of college? And everybody was like 20 this, 20 that, 20, this and that. And I said, I need to make, because, everybody else in the school, in the class, they had, you could tell, like, most of them were very wealthy. Their families were very wealthy, and they could make 20 and it would be okay because they didn't have to buy a car and pay for their own rent and pay for the school loans and pay for graduate school at night and all of the things that I had planned for myself, and I knew I had to finance it. So they said they wanted to make 20 something and they wanted to do da 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 da. I said, I want to be in sales and I want to make over $40,000 in my first year out of school. Now, the career planning and placement guy said that's not realistic. And I was the only person in the classroom who said they wanted to do sales. I wanted to do radio sales. And I had already had a job offer to work at a bank. So I took the bank job and I really wanted to go back because for some reason that guy just did not like the fact, he just did not like me. Like he would say, everybody wear blue suits, to these interviews, blah, blah, blah. And I would wear whatever color suit I wanted to wear. And most importantly, I'd wear the color suit that I had. And those of you who know me, most likely I had black. Now, I had a blue one. But if I wanted to wear black that particular day, I'm going to wear black because I don't believe that you should compromise who you are in order to get a job position. Because I truly believe that it's important to work somewhere where you are a good match. Where people go, oh, JB, I like your hair. That's nice. But I can't do that because of where I work. Now, do you really want to? Is that really true? Is that something you're making up in your head? But I digress. Let me go back to money. But anyway, you should work and work somewhere that you believe in. And most importantly, I wanted to work somewhere where I would have unlimited income potential. So as soon as I got that offer, so I only had to work at the bank for 7 weeks. As soon as I got that offer in sales, I took the offer. And I told him I didn't have to worry about his base and I wanted to create my own income. I had no accounts. He just gave me a list of people to call. I called those people. I walked in stores. I did what I had to do. I made way surpassed the $40,000 that man had told me, but was not reasonable. We have to stop setting reasonable goals according to what has happened for everyone else. Because if it was reasonable in 1995, I would have never started this firm. So we have to make sure that we dare to overestimate our goals. We overestimate. So, dare to say you feel that you need to have $1 million at minimum when you retire, then make sure that you dare to overestimate that. Because $1 million really represents about $40,000 or $50,000 a year in income from those assets, because you don't want the assets to run out. You're saying that you want to live off that. So unless you are happy with a $20,000 lifestyle, you're going to need to have more assets than that million in order to maintain the current lifestyle that you become accustomed to if you're making $100,000 plus now. So you've got to have more. So that's probably really like, if you want to have $100,000 lifestyle, you're probably looking at about $4 million in assets you need to have accumulated at some point, and it doesn't have to be when you're old. You can do that in order that you're creating income from. I think, immediately, because that's my background. I know everything about stock portfolios. Look, and learning every day. So I know everything that I know today. I'll know more tomorrow, God willing, but we're constantly learning. But I know more and more, and I'm helping more and more clients about growing into the areas of using other assets to create income, like having your own business, like creating or purchasing commercial real estate properties. There's so many more opportunities out there for you as a member of AfroEconomics in order to start moving towards for generating income and creating assets that will create income for you. Because that's the point. We want stuff that's going to create income for us. We want to set big goals so we have big income, so we have big money to pass on to everyone behind us. So Barbara, I'm going to continue, Mr. Piercy, on looking at how important it is for us to never underestimate ourselves. Now, if you have any questions about anything that I'm talking about, make sure you email me at jb@jbbryan.com, because we're talking about having big goals, overestimating your goals, daring to do so, and not allowing anyone to make you doubt yourself. So let's look at this. So never underestimating yourself. There's danger there. Using my notes, it stops you from progressing and reaching those big goals that I'm telling you about. If you underestimate yourself, if you believe, what if I had believed what they said? And what if I had believed when I left radio and went into and became a stockbroker, when I heard people whispering in my ear that Black people don't invest, Black people won't invest with you, and things like that. And here I am, what, almost 25 years later? Don't believe the hype, right? Don't. So give yourself more, just believe more in yourself. Get into a habit of figuring out and picking out something good about you. So we're talking about how I need you to never underestimate yourself so that we can reach those financial goals that you have for yourself. I don't want you to compromise. I don't want you to say, well, I really want this, but JB, I want that. Because the first thing that we do in the financial planning process is for you to tell me what your goals are. And I don't want to hear you settling. I don't want to do that. I don't want that. I don't want that for you anymore. I don't want that for me anymore. Don't allow me to settle. You catch me too. You catch me also. You see me doing less than you know that I'm capable of doing. I need you to be my accountability partner because I want to be yours. You would be amazed at how many people, because of your commitment to believing in them, grown folk. Now I can see when kids do this, when kids go, stop picking on me, but grown folk who are, because you tell them stop underestimating themselves, they fold. They retreat, they run, they hide from you. Here they come, trying to tell me what I'm going to do. And then they get mad at you because of your success. They don't even want to see you. They're not even invite you. They're not even going to ask you to come to the Kwanzaa party because you've done too well. Life is too good. And that's okay, because you do not need to be there, because we are setting big goals and we're never underestimating ourselves. And everything that AfroEconomics represents is about us moving forward and learning to have confidence in yourself, learning that it is important that you have that type of economic confidence in order for you to reach these big goals that I want for you. So give yourself a positive compliment about whatever it is that you did right. Like, hey, I only ate out, once this week because I'm stashing that money away. I'm not going to talk anymore about us cutting money, like cutting expenses and not doing that, unless I'm talking about, because when you didn't do that, we're not doing that because we want to save that money. I don't want you to sit there and sacrifice your whole life like too many people do and go without what you really want, and you're not stashing the money away and it's still getting wasted. And you're just settling and you're just sitting there and reducing your goals in order to make sure that you're comfortable. No, you're uncomfortable because you're stashing money away in order to acquire assets that are going to generate income for you and for many generations after you. That's what we're doing. Because so we're not wasting it on these things, these unnecessary things, because we're buying assets that generate income. We're buying things that have the potential to create income for you. Even better, there's ways to buy assets that guarantee income for you. It could be stocks that have a guaranteed dividend already. It could be commercial properties that already have tenants in them. It could be a business that you're buying from someone else. Well, you got to have the stash. We have to have the savings in order to do this. So stop listening to the opinions of others, because most of the people that you're talking to, unfortunately, if they're not on this webinar right now, they probably don't even understand what we're talking about. They're somewhere watching Power right now, dreaming about the movie, getting into, the movie and thinking that that is actually what power is, where the guy in the show is repeatedly shown to be powerless. What is powerful about somebody who's constantly begging to stay out of jail? That's ridiculous. The stuff that they show us, they show that's an economic power. Like, what? What type of power is that? You're hiding from the police constantly. We don't even need that. We don't even put that in there. You watch that at the end of a day, like midnight sometime, where you're trying to doze off or something like that, and you have nothing else to do. You know what? I watched a whole bunch of them one time over a holiday when y'all didn't want to see any webinars from me anyway. But we're making money. And every minute of our productive hours should be productively spent with our family, telling them about how much you care about them, what you want for them, what you aspire for them, writing books, making your day plan for the next day, doing something, exercising, preparing meals, doing something positive. We have absolutely no time to waste. So setting bigger goals, overestimate your goals. If you have to set your sight, you have to set your sight. If you're saying you want $1 million, then I'm saying, well, make it 2 million. Do you really know what $1 million represents? That's what we need to talk about. So that's why I was saying that $1 million really only represents about 40 to 50,000 in income. Or if you're, or if you're putting $1 million into a $10 million property, what income do you anticipate from that? We have to look at these things. We have to run the numbers. We have to know what we're doing, so we can set the goals and really know what you're trying to do, so that your chances of sticking to it, because of the sacrifice that it's going to require, are much greater if you have a full understanding and description written up and thought process of why you're doing and what you're doing and why we want to reach it. And so what's your income plan, right? What's the income plan from the money that we're stashing away, from these big goals that we're putting away? And then how are you going to stop the garbage debt, the unnecessary debts that you have that aren't creating any income for you? It's by never underestimating ourselves, right? And why do we think so small? Why do we think so small? Because of feeling like we shouldn't think so big, that that's not possible for you. Because not having a system in place of an accountability partner, having a system that's set up for your financial success. That's what AfroEconomics membership is all about. Your financial success for you and every generation that comes after you. So let's move away from underestimating ourselves by thinking about, who are you listening to? Who tells you what's possible and what's not? Who whispers in your ear? Where are you getting positive reinforcement? Are you surrounding yourself by people as focused as you are? Do you take the opinions of others seriously? Because usually you really shouldn't. You really should not. Especially if they're telling you, oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. Why would you want to have any more? You have everything. You have everything, though. You have everything that they don't have, but you still might not have everything that you want. So it sounds good, but move away from that. Just say thank you, accept that, but keep an eye on what you and your family want. Are you surrounded by negativity? If you're surrounded by negativity, then you're more likely to underestimate yourself, and you have to make sure that you move away from it. So how are we going to never underestimate ourselves again? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Huh? Tell me, wise counsel. Tell me, Akila, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to stop doubting other people. See, if you doubt me, then it's easier for you to doubt yourself, because you doubt me. So did you doubt me, or did you know that I was going to be here? Or whatever. Like, what? Stop judging and doubting anyone else or whatever somebody says. You see somebody who approaches you and they say, I want to whatever they say that they want to do. They want to produce a movie or something, and then are you the person that breaks it down and says, you know what, that was really hard for Tyler Perry and he was or are you the person that says, wow, let me know if there's something I could do to help? Look, that doesn't, you got to be careful with that statement, but because you have your own goals, so you got to finance your own dream. So be careful and let them know that's a great dream, but I can't finance your dream because I'm working on my dream, right? But when I say, let me know if there's something I need to help, like prayer, because when you're working on stashing your money away, you better protect your money like everything's happening. You gotta carry yourself like you are, as I said, I was saying on Wednesday, I am not going to spend my money. I'm going to stash away half of everything that I make, at least, so that I will have that stash. I challenge you to do that. So on that other half, I gotta live off that. I gotta pay for things. That way, every time you get more money, you make more money, you get a raise and everything, you're not gonna go out there and buy unnecessary things, right? Because you're not spending it. All you got was half of that. And then the IRS takes some of that too. So be very careful, or just be, so I'm saying, don't doubt others so that you won't doubt yourself. Keep a very positive energy all the time so that you can be encouraged and know that you are never going to underestimate yourself again, and that you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are going to reach these goals that we just doubled, that you just said, I'm going to reach these goals. And then trust yourself that you will take the steps and you will put in the work and you will meet with me and you will do the conversations and you will pay your membership and you will do everything that is required in order for you to move forward financially. Right? Trust yourself. You can do this. You can make an investment in your financial future. Yes, you can. And then be creative. Being creative will help you never underestimate yourself again, because you're not going to focus on competing with anyone else or keeping up with anyone else. You're going to focus on being creative, creating your own new ways of increasing your income, your own new ways of making sure that your family has everything that it needs. In AfroEconomics, I do not support a competitive atmosphere. I don't feel that competition is real, because when you're uniquely doing what you do, there is no competition. And if somebody tries to do what you do, you're going to dominate, because you dominate. So the competition is not necessary. There's competition. You're the most creative one in whatever you do. So there just happens to be someone that does something similar to what you do, but you have no competition. They might say they're in the same industry, but because of how creative you are, you're doing something totally different, totally extra, totally new all the time, because you're what? You're creative, and you never underestimate yourself. Be determined. The ninth principle of AfroEconomics, determination. You gotta be there. You gotta want it. How bad do you want it? And then don't stop until you reach your goal. Don't stop till you get enough. You can't even believe in that. Because enough might come before you reach your goal. So don't fall for that. Don't stop till you reach your goal. Scratch the Michael Jackson. He didn't stop till he got enough, but you can't stop till you reach your goal. Your goal, because you gotta make sure that your goal is enough. And we are what? We were in bigger goals than ever before. And then too many people, when they're saying, they go, I set these really big goals and then happened and then I didn't do it. No, we're not victims. I don't even support that. Spent years as a victim. There's no power there. Definitely no money there. Definitely no self-esteem there. And you definitely are underestimating yourself when you blame anybody or anything else for what you did not accomplish. No matter how bad it is, no matter what stank they did, you have to say, what part did I play into this? Right? Even if you took a job and you got fired for it wrongfully, with straight discrimination, what part did I play in that? I should never have been working there anyway. That's the way you have to see it. And I got what I needed out of it. Anywhere you work, you better get everything you can out of the experience. Give it your 100, get the experience, and move on. Move on and take it on to something else. Hey, you have just say, for example, you have a business. The business goes under, and then people just blame it on, well, my customers wouldn't pay. And then, well, how about the fact that you didn't have proper collection? You didn't create another product. You didn't figure out another way to make sure that you got paid beforehand when you realize that these people are not paying. Whatever it is, we have to take full responsibility for reaching our much bigger goals and for not underestimating ourselves. And a key way of not underestimating yourself is to begin to take complete responsibility, no matter how hard it is, no matter what it is. Let's not be a victim anymore. It is what it is. Hey, I got this. Hey, this is what I learned from that. And because of that, now I'm doing this and going to another level. Some bad stuff happens to really good people. We all have stories that we can tell that can make people cry, but that does not pay our bills. It doesn't help. So let's make sure we take full responsibility for our financial success, for our legacy, and for everyone that's depending on us being the absolute best that we can be. Your customers are dependent on you. Your family's dependent on you. Everybody is depending on you to not underestimate yourself and set much bigger goals. I can help you with that. Email me at jb@jbbryan.com. Join AfroEconomics. Get the membership. First thing we start doing is goal setting and going through things. We do quarterly meetings. Sometimes I meet too much. We're only supposed to meet once a quarter, and then we talk all the time and do our members only meetings, but I will out-meet you. Believe me, if you need me, I'm there for you. And unlimited calls. Call me anytime. We're going to get this thing done. Your financial success is very important to me. Why is it very important to me? Because your financial success is my financial success. I specialize in rich people and making you richer. So I'm on your team. God bless y'all. Any questions for me before you go? Make sure you check this out on YouTube. And remember, if you can't log in, you can always do the conference call. I'm proud of y'all who called in on the teleconference. It is there for you. So make sure that you take advantage of clicking into the chat. You get the book. All the members, make sure you go in and download the ebook if you don't have the book. And then make sure that you make plans. Make sure you make plans for Wednesday. For Wednesday at noon, I'm doing the Declaration of Financial Independence. We are celebrating. Drop the hot dogs and hang out with me at noon on the 4th of July, the real financial independence. That's real Independence Day, right? So let's take advantage. I love you too, Miss Sherman. You are so sweet. Thank you, and love you back. God bless you all. Talk to you all soon. And remember, get the book, get the membership, be empowered, think big, big goals. Whatever your goal is, let's double it. You can do it. I'm on your team. And never underestimate yourself. Let everybody else do it, but don't you do it. Be blessed.